I'm Joe Casamento, journalist, mum of four, and original beauty.
Hi, I'm Lucy Zelic, Daily Telegraph columnist, 2GB and Sky News contributor, journalist, mum of two, and very proud, creepy conservative.
Hello, I'm Amanda Rose. I'm a founder of 6 businesses. I'm a media commentator and an advocate.
Hi, I'm analog media journeyman Joe Hildebrand.
Hi, I'm Reggie Baird, 3-time winner of Big Brother, and I need a job.
Don't we all, Reggie? Don't we all? And I'm television and radio presenter Rob McKnight. Welcome to Beauty and the Beast. Hey, a big thanks to all the support the show has received so far. You can help us spread the word by sharing clips on your socials. Go and do it. Follow us at Beauty and the Beasts AU. Now let's get into it. Lucy has our first letter.
All right, let's get started. Dear B and B, I hate my boyfriend's mates. Haven't we all been there? They are a bunch of yobbos and a really bad influence on him. I've tried to improve my bloke. He now dresses better, shaves regularly, and doesn't fight in bed anymore. Sounds like you're with a robot, love. I'm trying to get him to find a new set of friends, but so far he tells me to mind my own business. They say you shouldn't try to change your partner, but some people can't be helped. Liz from Roseville. Okay, I've got a couple of problems with this, right? And the first being that at the end of the day, you're never going to find the perfect partner. There is no such thing as the fairy tale. It does not exist.
I disagree.
Why don't we get your wife on and add another box to this Beauty and the Beast panel so she can defend herself?
No, Amanda can keep quiet. Thanks very much.
So this concept that the perfect partner, male or female, exists just isn't something that's true. And ultimately, we have to put up with little things like, maybe he farts and I don't really like that how he chews his food over at dinner, and these little irritants that are going to kind of build up over time. But here's the thing that I've learned from experience. When it comes to his mates, I think who you choose to have as part of your inner circle says a lot about you and your character. So eventually, as time goes on, what you're going to realise is that the things you hate about his friends are naturally going to be the things you hate about him. You don't have a right to try and change his friends. That is who he chooses to spend his time with. They are a representation, as I said, of who he is. So I'm very afraid to admit for Roseville that if you're stuck with his mates or you're stuck with him, those two don't hold his balls. It might be time to kick old mate to the curb.
Do you know what I find interesting, Amanda, is that these things, this line here, there are a bunch of yobbos and a really bad influence on him. Yeah, they're the bad influence. He couldn't be a problem at all.
Well, I'm curious, were they his friends when they met? Like, did he get the friends after they,
See,
got together?
I'm assuming they were his friends before she met him.
Well, that's right. And look, so there's a saying that men will marry women thinking they won't change and they do, and women marry men thinking they can change them and they can't, right? And they won't change. And this is a classic scenario. And the reality is, who you meet, who you date, who you're married, that's it. That should be who you can accept for who they are. What's going to happen? He's going to end up hating you. He's going to end up isolating himself from you. He's going to just not tell you what happens when he hangs out with his mates. He feels like you're supposed to be his best friend, that he can talk about what happens in other parts of his life. But trying to control him like that, my goodness, you might as well be his mother, telling him you can't do this, you can't do that. He's not a teenager. And you know what? If you don't like it and if you can't handle his friends and who he is, leave. The door's open.
Joe, what do you think? Has your lovely wife, Tara, ever tried to change your friend group? Do you have any friends, Joe?
Yeah, it's funny you should ask because I'm actually really good mates with Liz's boyfriend, so I'm not quite sure what she's talking about. Look, I have the perfect solution for this, which is get married, have kids, and you'll never see any of your friends ever again. In fact, you won't even get to leave the house. So whether your friends are any good or not is a moot point. It's just academic.
Brilliant.
Well, they won't exist. You might catch up with them at their funeral, but apart from that, you're just going to be happy with the woman you love.
Reggie, what do you think here? Is that why your marriage ended, because you didn't like his mates?
No, both my marriages ended because, they tricked into other vaginas along the way. So I think with this girl, you can't change people. They are who they are, and if she don't like his friends, then tough titties. That's, You can't
Couldn't
change
agree
people.
more. Couldn't agree more. Joe Casamento, bring us home.
Well, take it, Lizzie, as someone who has tried to change many a man and never learns. You just can't do it. They are who they are. You have to love them. It's like your children. You have to love, accept, and if you can't handle it now, you definitely won't handle it in the future. So if it's a problem, opt out now. Save yourself the torturous years.
And it only took Joe 5 marriages to work that out.
Exactly. And we wonder why I'm single.
For more Booty and the Beasts content, join us on social media. We're on Instagram and TikTok at Booty and the Beasts AU. Our next letter feels like an episode of Seinfeld, but what would you do in this situation? Joe Hildebrand has this one from Tina.
Yes, Rob, thank you very much. I'm glad we got all the boring, meaningless stuff like love and marriage and lifelong commitment out of the way so we can drill down on the real issues facing society, and that is this. Dear B&B, the other day I found a parking space and had to move forward so the car vacating could pull out. Tell you what, I've pulled out a few times and it never ends well. As the car did, car moved in behind him and took the space before I could reverse back. What manner of witchcraft is this? It was obvious I was waiting for that space and I had my blinker on. When I reversed back and told the man it was mine, he abused me, locked his car and walked off. I now understand road rage. I stewed over it all day. Apart from advising this moron it was my space, do you, or do any of you, have a way of preventing this from happening? Tina from Geelong. Tina, there is no way of preventing these things from happening. You'd have to have a third eye and be able to predict the future. But what you can do after they do happen is seek what I like to call natural justice. And that involves pulling out a car key and then doing a lap of the offending party's car. And hopefully they don't have third-party insurance and it's a Porsche.
I wasn't going to go that far, Joe Hildebrand, but Joe
come on, you've got to strike fast, strike early,
No, I'm
strike
with you.
hard.
There must be retribution. There absolutely must. This is outrageous. This person knew, this person had been told, and so I was just going to go down and let down all 4 tyres. So there's no financial damage, but it's going to cause them a lot of inconvenience. Then I would have left a note saying, this is what happens when you steal a parking spot. Be thankful I didn't smash your window. Joe Casamento,
Wow,
is that
you
fair?
guys are really pent up, aren't you fellas?
It's not pent up.
Seriously.
It's called natural justice, as Joe Hildebrand said.
It's not
it is
pent
about
up
the
anymore.
rules.
It was pent up. Then we smashed the car. Now it's not pent up at all. That's the whole point.
Tina, you can't control what other people do. I like to play in my head constantly this song because if I didn't, I would not have survived to this day. Let it go.
No,
Bit of Frozen.
Lucy
It
Zelic,
just
you're
works
not in
every time.
agreement.
Yeah, you know what? There are going to be times in your life where people aggrieve you, where they offend you, where they do something wrong that gets your nose out of joint, and a semblance or a sprinkling of injustice is going to cross your path here, there, and everywhere. I mean, what does it say about us if we are in a situation where at every single turn, at every moment that semblance of injustice is leveled against us, that we start getting into violent acts or smashing windows, keying cars? I mean, I'm a very big believer in karma, right? And by virtue of this person's act, they may in fact already be living their karma because no good, happy person that's stable in their lives is cutting in front of people and stealing their car spots and committing wrongs against other people. So I'm just going to let natural selection take its course and karma wave her magic wand. Get on with it, let it go.
Sometimes
there are enough things, Rob, I'm dealing with. I mean, I can't even go to the toilet without a kid touching me or talking to me. Like that, a person stealing
that's a different kind of injustice.
Let's leave the golden sheep out of this.
But here's the thing, Lucy. Sometimes karma needs a hand, a helping hand. There's a great scene in Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe where Kathy Bates is in this exact same situation, and two young girls come in and park, and Kathy Bates says to them, "That was my parking spot." And they say to her, "We're younger and faster." And Kathy Bates just gets her car and starts ramming into their cars, and they're looking horrified, and she says, "I'm older and I've got insurance." And that, to me, is beautiful. Amanda, surely, come on, let's not turn this into a battle of the sexes. Surely you believe there should be justice here and revenge is okay.
Oh, look, I'm not a person for revenge, but I'm telling you,
I don't believe that.
No, I let God destroy you. I'm not doing it. So the thing is, I think this is a good argument, right, for online shopping. Like, if you can't, like, if people are going to be douchebags out there, which they are, they take your parking spot, even driving to the shop can be a nightmare, just go online, stay in your pajamas, have a coffee, enjoy yourself, don't be stressed out.
You're a business owner. You're a business owner. So now you're saying, let's drive everything out now because you might potentially run into a semblance of injustice in a car park.
No. Well, I hate to break it to you, but people actually have websites attached to their businesses, and it actually is a lot more effective for them. But the thing is that
I'm pretty sure that was the equivalent of keying someone else's car.
Yeah, that was a slap
I think she
down.
just let all your tyres down, Lucy.
but the thing is,
That's not the answer. That's not the answer. Just stay at home. Stay at home.
No. If someone can't handle with the rage, I would much rather someone say, enjoy life. You're the one that said you got to pick your battles and don't let it get to you. Well, this is a practical way for someone not to let them get to them. Just don't go. Maybe go to a different shopping centre or park up the back or go online. Whatever it is.
This is not what I expected from these strong, independent women. Reggie, what would you do in this situation? You wouldn't let them get away with it, surely.
No, they would get a mouthful of abuse. I'd go up and whack them with my white cane. That's what I'd do.
Then they'd say, "Why are you driving if you're blind?" But that's a whole other thing.
No, it is one of the bonuses of not being able to drive anymore is putting up with idiots like this. So I just catch the bus to the shops and then I get mowed down in Woolworths by old men on mobility scooters. So it's all, that's what happens. Yeah, it is safer to stay
Judge
home.
Rob is coming into the realm here because I genuinely can't believe the female attitude. I think Joe Hildebrand goes too far keying the car. I think the natural justice is let down all the time. Well, there's a financial thing in that.
Are we all in or not? There's no halfway house here. You can't just be sitting on the service line.
I was letting down all four tyres, but you know what? Slash the tyres. That'll cost them hundreds of dollars. I'm glad we're all civilised people.
You've all got grey hair, truly.
And also, if you're shopping online and it takes too long, just key your computer.
Did you know we also have a video version of Beauty and the Beast? There's a whole lot more just waiting for you at youtube.com/@BeautyandTheBeast. And seriously, some of the facial expressions you see on the video version, that is half the story here. Now back to the letters. Amanda, you've got this one.
Yes, this is a juicy one. I do like it. Dear B&B, my partner and I are besotted with politics. And I can say, here's your first problem. The trouble is he backs Labor, even leans towards the Greens, and I'm a staunch... and I'm a staunch Liberal lover. We fight like cats and dogs, doors slam, we don't speak for days, which I think sounds great, and even sleep in separate bedrooms after a fight. I break into a cold sweat whenever there is an election, as I just know our house will be a war zone. This is a Liberal Lucy from Wallara. Okay, so First thing I want to say is, why on God's green earth would you let a bunch of politicians come between you and your partner? And aren't you in for a shock when you realise the two major parties are two wings of the same bird 80% of the time? So you're pretty much fighting each other for the sake of they want you to fight so they can vote for different sides of politics. You know, I'm all for people having different views in politics and discussing and so forth. But I'm curious, Lucy, did you know that he voted a different way to you when you first met? Did you have these fights when you were dating at the beginning? Because personally, you know, some people love it and they love that combative type of thing. I don't. I actually think I prefer someone that has the same values, the same political alignment, you know, because that's really, really important because you're going to raise your kids that way. So I think there's a problem here. Either someone's changed or someone was delusional thinking the other person would change.
It always comes down to that, doesn't it, Joe Casamento? Would it bother you if your partner had different values as far as politics are concerned?
Oh, I seem to constantly date people with different political views, and I've got to say, politics.
And you're single, you say?
You say straight up. Single but still having fun, Rob. Single but still having fun. Let's not feel too sad for me. But politics is rarely sexy in the bedroom, but this letter kind of strangely turned me on. Doors slamming, not talking for days, makeup sex.
Well, I was about to say the makeup sex would be full on, wouldn't it?
It sounds a bit like this is what kind of gets your juices flowing. I don't know, but I'm thinking this is like how it works for you two, and I'm there for it. I'm here for it.
Reggie, would you ever let politics come into the bedroom?
No, because I've got nothing coming into my bedroom. So look, I'm not really, you know, into politics. I just think that, you know, they're all a bunch of wankers. Sorry.
Lucy, you have very staunch views. Could you be with someone who didn't share your political leanings?
Absolutely not. I mean, could you really imagine me ending up with some cuck who's all for climate change, tying himself to the Harbour Bridge? I mean, spend me. I want a man, and I want a conservative who is a man, who goes out hunting, who wants his woman to be a woman and to take care of said woman. So, no, there is absolutely no way in hell I could be with someone, because as Amanda rightly points out, this is a person that you're going to be raising your children with, right? And you want to be able to agree on certain principles. I don't want my children to be raised in a household that have climate alarmism and are having to go and seek psychological help at 9 years of age because of said propaganda. So absolutely not. And it's a very important question that she's raised. Did you know this beforehand? Because if so, then that's your own fault, basically. You've got to understand that when you do, and we're going to differ on points as partners, right? But when you do differ on such, you know, radical differences when it comes to politics, then you're very, by and large, going to differ on principles in life and values and how you should raise your children. So don't do it. It's not worth it.
Can I ask you a question, though? Because it happened in my own household, where we grew up in a certain household which was actually very right-wing growing up. And then my mother she's very socialist. My brother-in-law is a Labor politician. And the household really turned dramatically in terms of, you know, feelings and values and all those beliefs. And I just wonder, you know, my dad had to kind of catch up and I guess adapt. And I just wonder if that went on in your own marriage, how you'd cope, or you just don't think it would ever happen. Right. I
don't think it would happen, because I know who my husband is as a person and who he is as a person and what he values in life, and the things that he prioritises very much align with a right-wing view. I mean, there have certainly been points where at times we've kind of clashed heads, and, you know, he's raised points about climate change and he's thought, oh, you know, have you thought about this? Have you considered this? And I'm certainly not a fundamentalist by any stretch of the imagination. I like healthy debate, and I like that, you know, you can lead to instances where you walk away as you think, or we can't commit ourselves into people that we will be committed to one point for the rest of our lives. We're allowed to change, we're allowed to evolve. But I honestly think how divisive things are these days, and how, you know, you can kind of identify how a person thinks and what they believe in and what they value and how that can be categorized into either left or right, you kind of know where you're going with someone, right? So that's certainly how I feel about it.
I'm so much more fluid.
Joe Hildebrand, it sounds to me like Lucy wants someone who will stand up for her when someone parks the car and steals the car parking spot. She wants a real man's man.
Yes.
Yeah, look, she does, and it's a bit disappointing because I asked Lucy not to bring up our breakup live on air, but I find Rob, there's nothing like a little bit of political frisson in a relationship to get my preferences flowing. I think having a good, robust kind of debate is fantastic. But the one thing I cannot tolerate, and this is where Liberal Lucy from Wallara starts to lose me. I understand that there are Liberal voters in Wallara. I understand there are Greens voters in Wallara. But what the hell is a Labor voter doing there?
There's a lot of things that can cause issues in a relationship. We've talked about some of them today. But this one is driving a husband up the wall. Joe Casamento has had her fair share of issues behind the wheel, so he better some previous things later.
No, man, am I being deliberately targeted here? Is there not enough shame in my life? Are the fines that I hear on my desk not enough to?
You've got more fines.
Oh my God, I got one at
you
where
are
I work.
outrageous.
Oh my God, I'm
seriously,
outrageous.
you're outrageous.
It's actually, I feel picked on. Here's the letter. Dear
Good
BNB.
consequences.
It just results of a very busy life. I know it's a cliche, but my wife is a shocking driver. She's a danger to herself and all the other drivers on the road. We have huge fights because I never let her get behind the wheel, and I'm terrified when she has to take the kids to school. Please tell me why women just can't drive. And don't tell me that yarn where they've been told 2 inches is 6 inches. Heard it all before. Bob, the basket case, Brisbane. Well, apart from feeling, particularly targeted, thanks, Bob. And not that I'm one to talk, but I do understand you a little bit because 3 teenagers in my house got their license in the last year or so. And it's actually frightening when you really are a little bit scared. One child in particular, she knows who she is because she had her license for 2 weeks and she's already lost it.
Oh, wow.
He played us only get 1 point, by the way. So anyway, she's like mother, like daughter. But I do know what it's like when you actually fear someone getting behind the wheel. It gave a new level to me. So what I recommend, and since I've done a few of these, there are driver's courses you can be forced to do, but you can also book in for them voluntarily, I believe. So maybe book your wife into one of these, get her a few extra professional lessons, and it might ease your anxiety around the issue.
Amanda, I don't think this is a male-female issue. I think it's a good driver, bad driver issue. And I think we give away licenses too easy, basically.
Yeah, it's definitely not a male or female issue. From my experience, men are way worse drivers than women.
There I was trying to stop it from being a stereotype. And what did you do? You brought it straight back to a stereotype. We know that men are better drivers. I was just trying to be nice about it.
I'm just saying, based on my family statistics, I'm not the one that, speeds and gets fined. But look, I think the issue here, if you're genuinely fearful, in particular with driving with children, I agree with Joe with getting lessons and, courses that can help. But if you're genuinely worried about that, then you're going to have to take that responsibility. You can't say to her, I don't like your driving, it's making me anxious, but still here's the burden of taking the children everywhere. If you're genuinely worried about that, then you step up and take the children to school and so forth, if that's a serious concern of yours. Otherwise, if she can do courses and training, so be it. But also think maybe you're being dramatic. Maybe, I'd like to look at what exactly it is that she's done that you're so worried about. Is it going 5 over? Is it getting parking fines? Or is it actually dangerous driving? Because they're 2 very different things.
Lucy, I think if he was to do this, the smart way to do it would be to say, well, look, I've seen these driver courses we can do. Let's both do it rather than saying, you're a bad driver, you need driving lessons.
Everything in life is about the mode of delivery. I can say, you look nice, or I can say, you look nice. And of course, we know that although it is the exact same, the exact same sentence, the way you deliver something accounts for everything. So I think you've got the right solution there, Rob. I think it would be the perfect timing and opportunity to be able to say to your wife, hey, look, you know what? Why don't we go for a refresher? Obviously, you've had these instances where you've gotten these fines. I know I'm not a perfect driver as well, so maybe we can go and do it together. But I just want to say
You'll never get any man to admit that, Lucy.
Clearly. If you're that concerned about your children's safety, then you will do anything you can to make sure that you go about this in the right way so that you can get the right outcome. I have no right to comment on this issue at all because I'm a horrendous driver. I've had my license suspended. I've had a lead foot and received numerous speeding fines in my life, but having children changed all of that. That said, men are too terrified to say that women are bad drivers. I went and picked up my kid the other day and I was running late, as most of us do, and I parked about probably, a metre off the curb, and I just watched as these cars were awkwardly going around it. And the dad behind me, as we were walking back, I'd said to the kids, come on guys, quickly, let's get back to the car. Mum is parked basically in the middle of the road. And the guy started laughing behind me and I said, mate, don't worry about it. I'm no feminist. You can say that's a bad park. And he goes, oh, you think a man's going to say that, love? You're dreaming. So, the issue is that we have scenarios where men are too afraid to speak up and say something. But when your kid's safety is at stake and you're worried about your woman behind the wheel, you need to step up and say something. But it's all about the mode of delivery.
Joe Hildebrand, I've seen a lot of examples here where the men do seem to be better drivers than the women.
Yeah,
on
absolutely,
this panel.
Rob. I'm not afraid to say it. Rest assured. My wife is an absolutely terrible driver. There is times that I've had to call an Uber just to get to the curb from the passenger seat. I would rather get in a Lamborghini with Reggie than ride shotgun with my wife. She's an absolutely terrible driver, unsafe driver, and it's. To make matters even worse, ever since I lost my license, she has to do all the driving. So it's just a double whammy.
Reggie, were you a good driver back in the day?
Oh, no, I was a good driver. I only ever crashed into a pole in the car park.
Yeah.
So
just once.
but then I did when I was younger. I was naughty. I took my mum's car. I was only 15 and it was a hot day and I wanted to go to the beach and my girlfriend came with me. Isn't this terrible? I was driving a car at 15. And then we went to the beach and she said, Reg, stop. I was trying to park the car and I pressed the accelerator and crashed into a pole there. But apart from that, I was a good driver. Yeah.
You've just mentioned two crashes, but I was a good driver. How many crashes until you're a bad driver, Reggie?
I don't know. That was the only bad thing that I ever did. So I was a good driver. And this person there, they obviously need some driving lessons by the sounds of things to make the lady learn how to drive a bit better. Yeah, I think that
certainly does. But Bob, good luck with that because it's a rough issue. But what I'm taking from this, Lucy said I was right. So mark that in the calendar. I don't think, Lucy, have you ever admitted a man is right before? God damn. I know.
Yeah, that's very much her shtick, actually.
My man is right.
That's right. And you better remember it.
That's very simple.
That brings us to the end of this edition of Beauty and the Beast. My thanks to Joe, Lucy, Amanda, Joe and Reggie. We will see you very soon for another episode. Thanks. We'll see you next time.